After a year, I'm back for AEW once more. For the second year in a row, Owen is back to Wembley, London, and I cannot pass it by. The biggest AEW PPV of the year, the WrestleMania. Let's put the WWE aside for a moment and jump into current AEW. Let's analyze it all. AEW always puts multiple matches onto their 0-hour card, and for Owen it's 2 0 hours. So let's get them real quick. The first fight was a massive 16-man tag team match, and it doesn't even matter who all those guys are. You can see them now. They just shook things up for everybody to get their Wembley moment. The biggest highlight I remember it was gigantic Satnam Singh going face to face with Leo Rush, not letting him do anything with himself. Even everybody tried to take him down, but he still overpowered them all apart. What a special attraction. Everybody was tagged into this match and they all wrestled and flew. Anthony Ogogo knocked out Rocky Romero and Dynamite Kid in the next week, and only Don Callis' family standout Kyle Fletcher stopped him, and after making his work led his team to success with Dante Martin finishing the match for his babyface team. 10 guys and one Don Callis standing victorious alongside babyfaces. Never in a million years. Kyle Fletcher stood out great. This exhibition match is over. Move on. Stokely Hathaway was there to wrestle alongside Chris Statlander and Mitniss in their Judgment Day against Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii, who wanted to kick his ass. So he escaped for a while to let girls battle out their grudge, but after those two were down, that double tag to man was inevitable. So he ticked Ishii off by trying to chop him. This stone pitbull played him like a toy, but Statlander came to Stokely's aid, and it allowed this little big guy to let his temporary moment of glory. But after Ishii was immediately back up to his feet, it was at this moment Stokely knew. He fucked up. When this guy was hitting Ishii, he was only making him stronger, and soon it was all over after successfully taking out the trash. Not bad, he had it coming because of his big mouth. The third 0-hour match was suddenly another multi-man tag team match. When enough is enough. Cage of Jobbers teaming up with Forgotten Undisputed Jobbers to take on an interesting team of Shibata, Sammy Guevara, Von Erichs and legendary Goldust Dustin Rhodes. This was more of a grudge match trying to beat up each other in 10-man chaos. 55-year-old Dustin Rhodes was wrestling on folks with purpose, being confident while doing so. The veteran knew how to outsmart those jobbers. Also, he is ROH Trios Champion Von Erichs and ROH Tag Team Champion Sammy Guevara. This man is living his life to the fullest. Also, he did his Rooney. Let's give him some props. He was a game changer in this match. They all put their bodies on the line doing too much stuff in a minimal amount of time. They took them all out one by one, and after Guevara hit his flying move through chorus of boos, they secured the win. Sammy is not going to turn heel because that's enough already, but he is so annoying to fans that he will definitely always boo him. He's unlikable naturally. Those sore losers attacked faces, but Kevin Von Erich stood his ground and took out Matt Taven with his signature claw, and they all kicked them back. This was embarrassing for heels. They are done. What a good moment. Appreciate this man, Kevin Von Erich. Also, in the end of 0 hours, Saraya interrupted the panel to insult the people and trying to cancel the event. But this crap did not last long as it was ended by the returning Jamie Hayter, who came for big revenge, kicking butts of entire Saraya's crew, including her disgusting mother. She deserved it. Good for you, Jamie. And right now we can proudly start talking about the premium event. All In is officially here. In the beginning match, AEW Trios Championships were on the line in a London ladder match with House of Black, Bang Bang Gang, Blackpool Combat Club, and Christian Cage's Stinky Patriarchy. These 12 men were earning their money in this chaotic, never-stopping ladder match. Their stamina was remarkable. The center of all this are the current champions Christian, Killswitch and Nick Wayne. They are the biggest and real villains in this feud. Cutting corners, bending the rules, not allowing others to shine, and being an asshole father is what Christian Cage is all about. He wants to take everything away from everybody in AEW, in the worst ways after his failed WWE career. This guy is worse than Don Callis. He's the devil of all devils. Even House of Black look normal and likable compared to Christian Cage. He's so hated that all other 9 guys altogether wanted to beat him up just for fun. Luchasaurus destroyed everybody and looked to win the match for his team, but even there Christian stopped him because he wants to grab those titles. What a dick once again. Of course they paid for it. Also, Cesaro is not just teaming up with his Blackpool teammate Yuta, but with an outsider Pac, who wants his Wembley All-In moment so bad. Don't you underestimate this dangerous bastard. Look at this thunderous double table drop. Then look at this long fall for Juice Robinson, who's created for these meme-like spots. courtesy of Christian Cage. You think Christian can do anything worse? Think again. He pepper sprayed Judas' face for no reason. What a jerk. But what happens when Juice is loose? He low blows Christian and sprays the features of Mother Wayne's face as she desperately deserved it. Good job, Juice! Also, Cage created good nostalgia moment by spearing Buddy Matthews from the ladder into the table on the floor. So Killswitch was helping Cage by his neck, but the one and the only Pac didn't allow it to end like this by risking it all, pushing them off the ladder and successfully grabbing those belts. He declared he cashed in and delivered in his own country, winning the titles alongside Blackpool Combat Club. He did it like a hero here, stopping those patriarchy idiots and ending their reign. If you want it so bad, you can get it. New champions. Quite unlikely champions, but probably Pac will join BCC officially after now. But the next bout is set for one fall, and it is for the AEW Women's World Championship. Harmful Mariah May is looking to wreak a little havoc fighting with her former friend and champion Toni Storm. Mariah just sneaked her way to get close to Toni, to get to know her better and to earn her trust. So just when the time was perfect, she brutally destroyed her and left her laying bloodied. What's interesting, Toni Storm never needed Mariah to defend her title. She was credible champion her own, and just because May worshipped her shouldn't have meant for Toni to let her close to herself. It didn't make sense for the champion Toni Storm, but it certainly gave a lot to Mariah May. And I gotta tell you, I wasn't surprised how it all turned out because I saw how Mariah was behaving herself to everyone except Storm. She was just waiting for the right moment. She has always been a natural asshole heel, and despite Challenger being in her hometown, she was booed from the beginning because no one likes to cheer comebacks. To make matters worse, Mariah May kissed Nigel McGuinness right during the match, dropkicked Luther and then straight up slapped her own mother who was here in the first row. Here they just told us that Mariah is going to be the heel of all heels, one against all, the main antagonist of women's division. So after Toni made her pay, she hacked her opponent's mother. That's how reversed and effed up it all is. The things were so fired up that Toni Storm became the biggest babyface in the stadium at that moment. And each time she had momentum, she was cheered on bigger than ever. May was bleeding but also cutting all the corners she could to advance, mocking her former friend many times. Every time Toni Storm hits Storm Zero, it wins the match for her, but not tonight. Mariah withstood the challenge by kicking out. I didn't know which way it might go, and back in form momentum was only adding fuel to the fire of intrigue. I was enjoying it. This went so far crazy they even low blew and headbutted each other. Luther took the title away and showed this thing where Toni refused to use that shoe to attack, and it cost her as Mariah hit her of everything including Storm Zero to dethrone Toni Storm's long reign and win AEW Women's Championship for the first time in her career. What a mayhem, it really felt like a big storyline. I was hooked from the beginning to the end. A 1-year high drama unfolded. It was like the mega powers exploded. Mariah May took it all and were in store for the most selfish, narcissistic champion in ages. But Toni didn't cry because it was over. She smiled because it happened. The power of positivity. But the moment we all have been waiting for has arrived. The learning tree, Chris Jericho, with his massive "Hi guys," is here to sing his own song and to defend his for the World Championship. Ooh yeah! This guy always improvises and creates new things, especially when it's necessary. Anytime his character starts to get boring and old, he immediately identifies what's wrong and fixes it entirely. I think the best of all time in terms of longevity and creativity. No one will ever surpass this phenomenon. And no matter how much fans want him to step away at least for a while, he laughs at their faces, because it's not going to happen. Eva! Because this match is contested under FTW rules, Hook got swarmed 3-on-1. But the young man fended them off and at least made it 1-on-1 for a while. He's outsized, outnumbered, and outdied if you will, but his character is about overcoming any difficulties with no fear, so he was fighting for his life there. It didn't take long for Jericho's branches to get back attacking Hook, who by the way was still fighting and hanging on, bringing everything he had. So when Hook got attacked for the third time, he dodged for Chris to take out Big Bill, but Brian Keith was still a pain in the ass, causing problems what finally led to the long time coming equalizer. The X-Factor Taz choking Brian out in Red Rum, what allowed Hook to do the same thing to Jericho at the same time, getting the victory. This means that for the World Championship is back to fuck the World Championship, and his third reign has begun. Despite me loving Chris Jericho's learning tree gimmick and stable, and even rooting for them here, I understand that Hook winning here was natural and best for business. It's just their feud which is over. Chris added FTW title to his enormous title collection. But imagine how much more things and stories Chris can create next, with others as the learning tree. This will be fun. He already started his new program for Orange Cassidy. We're going to run it back again and I'm excited. Thanks guys! Up next, FTR, Young Bucks, The Acclaimed in straight up freeweight tag team match for AEW tag titles. During the Acclaimed's entrance, Max Caster gave his most controversial rap ever, cause when it comes to Max Caster, there is no such thing as crossing the line. These three teams are the exact three top main event tag teams in AEW. They are on another level compared to all other teams in this company. It's extremely difficult to beat any of them and it rarely happens. They win 99% of their matches on dynamites and collisions. So All In is the perfect stage to determine the very best team of all, to leave no doubt. It was so hard for them to outplay and keep themselves down. Even after Shadow Machine, Max Caster had to pull out referee to save the match. So funny it became Caster and Matthew hit EVP Trigger, or later Caster and Wheeler hit Shadow Machine together. The beginning of the end started with double low blow and pumped up super kicks where Daddy Ass made the EVPs pay, what took Nicholas to save their belts. After some chaos, the Old Bucks used their belt and EVP triggered, and this much damage was enough to retain their championships. They don't defend their titles, but when they have to do it, they deliver as they did here. After the match, former NXT tag team Grizzled Young Veterans made their debut, sliding into the ring and standing face to face with Bucks, who backed away, but then the new guys attacked FTR and laid them out. And I wasn't surprised by that. They are always heels. Seems like the entire AEW tag team division has to buckle up and grit their teeth. It just became stronger. The next brawl was massive 21-man Casino Gauntlet match for a contract that allows you to get a title match at any time and any place. Basically like Money in the Bank ladder match. The first two unlucky guys were Orange Cassidy and Okada, funny battle. But the very next shocking entrance was the local hero Nigel McGuinness. Hearing this guy in commentary every week, it's easy to assume that even if he doesn't win, he'll never shut up about it. And we'll never hear the end of this. He'll shove it up Tony Schiavone's throat every week. The master technician straight in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Zack Sabre Jr. was there to mix it up with Nigel and Okada. But then, moments later, the angriest man entered, and that was Hangman Adam Page, who promised to destroy everyone standing in his way to Swerve Strickland. He brought massive thunderstorm, running all over everybody, not giving others even a chance to breathe. Complete disregard for others' health and well-being. He's obsessed with Swerve so much he would still hold grudge against him after 20 years. And I agree with Hangman. That asshole Swerve invaded his home first. Hangman has all the right to make that son of a bitch pay. He even laid his hands on Jeff Jarrett's wife, Karen. And I like that. She didn't need to stick her nose into this. But after it, the most shocking entrance and the biggest all-in debut happened where Ricochet became all elite with massive ovation. He gave Page some reality check and unleashed his high-flying madness on all others. In AEW, this guy will have no limits showcasing all his abilities. He'll be allowed to do whatever he wants. Even lame-ass Christian Cage decided to compete here. Hangman backshotted Ricochet to hell, but dumbass Okada stopped the pin with blatant disrespect. It was followed by Karen Jarrett stopping Hangman's momentum and Jeff getting his revenge, smashing another guitar across his head. After Nigel showcased his skills, he got speared by his idol, by his god Christian Cage. No surprise. The last guy entering was Christian's bodyguard, who came under the name of Luchasaurus, seemingly to end Christian once and for all. Only to chokeslam Kyle O'Reilly and hand the victory to his boss instead of winning for himself. It turns out Luchasaurus is still not here. This monster has still kill switch written all over him. I have no idea why after Christian betrayed Jack Perry 2 years ago, Luchasaurus became his leash instead of getting away from this stinky, disgusting human being and continues to do all the bulk work for him. To this day, he is wasting his own time. Someday he will indeed do something about it. So Christian gets the winning contract, which he can execute at any moment to become the AEW champion. He can do it after champion staff defense and steal the title. Cage is basically AEW's new Mr. Money in the Bank now, but he doesn't deserve to be AEW champion. I hope he never wins it. MJF's custom rebranded American Championship is on the line against phenomenal Will Ospreay. This deeply personal match took place on Ospreay's homeland of Britain. He is these people's hero. But what MJF did was trying to shove America's greatness in these people's and Ospreay's face. Mind games. He enjoyed every second of it. Maxwell's new heel patriotic American gimmick is a unique thing. You gotta give AEW their due. WWE never did exactly that. Only similar but opposite. Max defeated Will Ospreay in his first attempt in their first ever meeting on Dynamite, proving that he can adapt to and beat anyone by simply outsmarting them, no matter how good or talented MJF's opponents are. Maxwell sees Ospreay as super good but predictable athlete who cannot cross a line ever, and he was playing on his weaknesses. Ospreay's speed and out of nowhere big moves were the keys to holding the upper hand during the bout. MJF understood the caliber that his enemy is, so he even needed to use crossroads out of nowhere. You never underestimate MJF's physical abilities with paper and pile driver like that. Both of their offenses were just too deadly and dangerous. Game of chess. As Max got out the way, even cameraman suffered hidden blade. Good for him. The next step was for MJF to use his title belt, followed by Big Brain Buster trying to steal the win fast, but the British assassin survived. No matter how hard Bryan tries to escape the line of fire, he always ends up short, what opens the door for Max to play dirty with super low blow. But this situation also opened the door for Daniel Garcia to make his return and knock his wrongdoer out. And as MJF lost all the focus, Will Ospreay acted quickly with Hidden Blade and that long eluded Tiger Driver 91, to which Bryan Danielson gave his blessing and which MJF desperately deserved. Nobody ever kicks out of this special super finisher. So Will Ospreay gets his revenge, defeating MJF and regaining this title back. He refused to even touch the American title because Christopher Daniels brought him back the International Championship. It's back. It was half an hour back and forth main event level banger. They didn't hesitate on anything. No regard for their own health. All for defense. For all in. MJF Ospreay was a transitional yet huge feud, but MJF and Garcia will be feuding much longer. I can tell you that. And now, for Women's TBS Championship, insert promotion a long-time coming dream match between Britt Baker and double champion Mercedes Moné, with a Royal Majesty entrance. Just look how massive Moné's ego is, because anytime she had the upper hand, she couldn't stop basking in her own glory and showboating. Also, presence of her bodyguard Camille at ringside gave her even more confidence. Of course, Baker struggled against those two at the same time. Heels worked smart. Add to that she still has back issues, but she had the whole stadium cheering her on. Fans were firmly behind the AEW homegrown star. There was an episode where they were stealing the glow from each other trying to get ahead. Also, look at this big top rope body slam reversed by Britt Baker, which did a lot of damage. It looked like Big Curb Stomp was going to get the job done, but Camille barely placed Moné's leg under the ropes. It took shenanigans with 2 titles and Camille to outsmart both Britt and referee to stay alive before she got ejected. The second stomp was connected, but Mercedes kicked out by a miracle. Britt was looking to humble down Moné with a lockjaw, but the champion just bit her fingers to get free and hit finish on Moné Maker to retain in this hard-fought battle. I don't know, why was lockjaw so deadly and unsurvivable for so many years if you can just bite her fingers to free yourself? Does it make Mercedes Moné a genius? Maybe it does. I can call it generational victory. It will pave the way for future stars. Mercedes will brag and remind everybody about it for years and years to come. She's at the top of her game. She isn't even a world champion, but no doubt top heel in this company. It says a lot. The one problem is Camille, because Mercedes doesn't need her to win matches, but instead Camille can turn on her at her expense in future. Just look what happened between Toni Storm and Mariah May. In the pre-last match for TNT Championship and Coffin match, Darby Allin and scapegoat Jack Perry collide. The 2 pillars, the eternal rivals. Darby wanted to cut down Jack's ego so bad he jumped on him out of the ring to begin this coffin brawl. He's tired of Jack. He sees him as a bum who doesn't deserve to have what he has. Darby's been busting his ass and killing his body for years to get here, and doesn't get why he's Perry in this high position. This match was super ruthless and dangerous. They used many painful tools and ways to hurt each other. Just take a look at this real glass. Jungle Boy locked his hands via scotch tape and later powerbombed him off the ramp, sending him crashing down into tables. Jack brought black plastic back here for a reason, to lock Darby inside this thing. Put him inside the coffin. Hit running knee and to win the match, taking out the trash. It was very short but so impactful, painful match. So much damage dealt. Think about it, coffin match is Darby's game and he underwhelmingly lost in 10 minutes without a chance. Quite disappointing. And if this wasn't enough, the Elite looked to add insult to injury, attempting to burn Darby Allin alive after the match. What a bunch of idiots. And the only positive thing to save the day happened to be the darkness, followed by the returning icon Sting. A Seek and Destroy stunned the stadium and the Elite looked like they were seeing the ghost. And that was true. Daddy came back very bad. Jack's chair shot produced absolutely no effect on Sting, so Perry escaped like a train, after which the Icon destroyed those fools Young Bucks once again. Sting came back for big AEW All-In to remind the Elite who runs things and to put fear of God back into them. That was great feel-good moment to hear Metallica at the big show once more. And now, the main event of the biggest AEW stage of the year, All-In. The match is not just for the AEW World Championship, but actually title versus career match. The stakes are once in a lifetime big. Just think what situation Bryan Danielson is in. His last active year is almost over. His career is on the line in this main event. He has to get surgery sooner rather than later. His entire family is in the first row. Plus, he hasn't won a title since debuting in AEW 3 years ago. The pressure is almost bigger than at WrestleMania 30. He really is the final hope hero coming into this. And he has to overcome dominant yet annoying asshole Swerve Strickland, who always makes things personal for no reason. Just like Hangman, I also don't get how can you cheer for this idiot just because Prince Nana is hyping him up with one stupid catchphrase and one generic dance. This is pathetic. I never liked Swerve and most likely never will. He is boring. I don't always care about who wins a match in a title, but in this case I did care extremely much. Bryan has to overcome the bullies once again. Danielson didn't get this much out of nowhere. He won Big Owen Hart tournament defeating 3 tough opponents like Shingo Takagi, Pac and Hangman Adam Page. Such a long, tough road. People were firmly behind Bryan Danielson with yes chance every time it was necessary. And he was capitalizing his expert technique, controlling Swerve inch by inch. But whenever Strickland had the control, he was gloating about it not just in everyone's face, but of course into Bryan's own family. Such a creep. How can you call this guy babyface who's trying to intimidate innocent children? And he couldn't stop trying to turn Danielson's already bloodied face into a mess. It doesn't matter what your catchphrases are. If you stoop that low, you're not a hero and don't deserve to be cheered. Though I even despise his stupid "Whose House" catchphrase as well. Bryan was grabbing every opportunity to make Swerve pay for his actions, forcing the champion to feel extreme pain from his holds and strikes. Bryan proved that he came indeed all in, firing up on all cylinders, leaving his soul by fighting for his life. The scariest moment of the match was Swerve hitting underhook moves similar to Tiger Driver 91, causing such dangerous landing. I mean, no matter how this match is booked, if you get permanently injured during a match and can't continue, you lose that match. But under this condition, if Bryan loses, he retires. So it was very scary, especially remembering what happened to him against Ospreay at Dynasty earlier this year. To make things worse, Swerve looked to capitalize with Stomp for a first big kick out. He gave 2 house calls and Danielson still popped the shoulder up. After these respectful kicks, Bryan rose up looking on his Dada, turned into fire-breathing dragon and went steamrolling all over Strickland for his troubles. Swerve Strickland got hit with flying knee, but Turnbuckle saved him and he shrugged it off laughing in his face. That was another intimidating episode which could lead to disaster, because he hit his super finisher Big Pressure and after a dead long count, Bryan powered out with everything he had left. Unlike in SummerSlam main event, here these things worked, cause after such devastating finisher in this unpredictable match, Bryan indeed could lose, but was staying alive time after time. Swerve was dead silent on finishing it, but at ringside chaos began to unfold with Hangman Adam Page arriving and everyone breathed a sign of relief because it did not let the miracle die. It allowed Danielson to hit distracted Strickland with a running knee, but they faked it again with yet another kick out. It took a long, elusive game of chess for Bryan to connect with another devastating jaw-dropping knee to the back and finger snap, to finally force Swerve Strickland to tap out from Yes Luck and to win his first and only elusive big AEW World Championship. The hard-fought underdog story like this always works with Bryan Danielson. That was his 5th attempt to win AEW World Title and his career was on the line in the main event of the biggest stage of the year. So many WrestleMania and Rocky vibes. After losing to Eddie Kingston, to Will Ospreay and getting pinned by Jack Perry in Anarchy in the Arena, this courageous inspirational underdog once again overcame the impossible odds against so many bullies. I was as happy as if I did it myself. Spending 3 years in AEW and not winning a single title? No way! Legend like this could only finish his career and go on a high note as the world champion. Only like this. And tap out victory made it all much better. Of course, his Blackpool Combat Club's teammates Claudia, Yuda, and even Pac came in to celebrate together. Super happy Bryan shared this lifetime moment with his kids. So adorable. Truly WrestleMania 30 and WrestleMania 40 vibes. And some people say he didn't need this, and I strongly disagree. This AEW Championship win ultimately solidified and cemented his legendary status, and he got deservedly rewarded for his 3-year-long hard work for this company. So happy for Bryan Danielson. Hard to say which All-In came out better, this or last year's, but despite lesser audience, they put in full work into feuds, build-ups and matches. It felt very important. All 12 matches made sense and were there for a reason. Not for simple exhibition. They left that crap for Rampage. Roster is big, but nobody is lame. They all work for it. At least this pay-per-view had so much unpredictability and class in it. It will be followed by All Out in 2 weeks already, and they will make it big too. London, Wembley. It's time to put up or shut up. See you yesterday. Sit back, shut up, and enjoy the ride The Rock is taking your candy asses on.